It's the 90s, Generation X Volume 2, Emplate's Revenge. Yes, we're so excited. This epic collection collects, it's number 2, Generation X 10 through 23, Annual 95 and 96, Generation X San Diego Preview, and material from an Incredible Hulk Annual. And that Incredible Hulk Annual is just at the back. It's kind of tacked on as Leech and Artie dreaming about the Incredible Hulk. It's kind of a odd little issue to throw into there, but okay. Whatever, it fits okay. Generation X is a pretty interesting spot to start here. Scott Lobdell's writing this, and Chris Bacallo? I can't remember how to pronounce it. I know it's like that. I know it's not Bacalo, but it's like Bacallo, I think. Maybe it's Bacallo. Ugh, he told me. He told me in the comments of one of these videos how to do this, and I still don't remember. But it's one of those two, guys. It's one of those two. I'm sure you'll correct me. And it starts with this, like, I guess, special event. This is White Queen's sister, who is some... Gosh, it's so cool looking. Look, I know this is 90s art, and it's kind of like... It's cheesecake, and it's kind of weird, and the colorings are a little odd and all that, but, like, this is really enjoyable. And the characters through all this are really enjoyable, too. We've got her, like, dealing with this guy who's, like, a mystery, and then Penance is here, and she's, like, got problems relating to everybody, and... You've got just a lot of cool dynamic character things that really, like, I don't know. You don't get that as much in, like, the main X-Men book, I guess. Here's M, and, like, nobody trusts her. There's something wrong there. And what happens is this guy escapes. His name's Mondo, very 90s as well. And then White Queen's sister's, like, kind of his friend slash handler and coming after him. And he ends up running to Generation X to, I guess, join Generation X is what ends up happening. And... he's being chased after, of course, by bad guys. But I don't know. I like the cheesecake art. I like that. I really enjoy it. It's very colorful all the way around, too. It's good stuff. This is an annual, so there's like this really long deal. He's reading her diary, M's diary here. Omega Red eventually shows up, a bad guy here, to kind of try to take down Generation X over the course of this. Again, the art's super good. The story flows really well. You really kind of want to read the first one first in order to get this. Like, that's the problem with these. There's really not great jumping on points for these. There's so many characters, and you're like, who are these people? And it looks like Val Simicus is now doing a fill-in issue. Yeah, they got a couple fill-in artists during this. There's the big Omega Red fight. And there's a couple, like, there's a lot of personal, like, relationship dramas going over the course of this. Like, nobody trusts M. Jono, what's his, Chamber is, really lonely and all that. Jubilee's kind of just chilling. Husk really likes Chamber, but, like, can't really admit it. And now we've got Emplate back. Now, the one criticism I'm going to give for the storyline of this is, like, Emplate in the first volume was really scary. Like, I mean, he was going to be a real bad dude. He like, feeds off mutants. And when he comes back here, he's not quite as scary. He ends up a joke. Now, this is a really nice deal with Chamber. Like, he's getting trapped by this girl who's an ex-girlfriend, and it's on behalf of Emplate. Emplate's, like, this is kind of the main story of this book. Emplate shows up, and he captures everybody. Bishop actually shows up, so we can get a little crossover with the X-Men there, and they kind of fight everybody off. Now, over the course of this, though, we also learned the secret that M is Emplate's sister, which is really interesting. Now, Emplate kind of controls people and all this stuff, and Skin goes off the rails, like he gets psychically manipulated. So he runs off and, like, almost goes and kills, like, people he knows from his past through this. And, of course, Generation X has to go deal with that. And here's Chris Bacallo's return after some fill-in issues there. And they take down Skin after a while. And then this one's kind of weird. you get this like Stan Lee like story and like very interesting the narration techniques on this one. But basically, you see the Executioner deals with them. And then it gets into an Onslaught crossover. Now, they've been like hyping Onslaught over the course of this just a little bit. Like, what's Onslaught? Who's Onslaught? And now it's Impact 1, which is like as this whole thing goes on. And everybody's kind of distrustful of each other. What's happened over the course of this is White Queen actually tries to take the kids to Canada to get them away from all the bad things happening because everybody hates mutants now. Now you notice like there's all these like they're trying like to play with gutters too much, and it just like it's distracting, kind of ruins the pages. I wish they wouldn't do that, but it's the 90s, so they're going to try things like that, right? And eventually like Toad's all hold up there, you find out, and eventually they end up re-meeting up with Banshee and coming back. And then you get some personal issues where they just kind of hang out for a little bit and you dial down because Onslaught's a kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. And then you get this wacky adventure with Howard the Duck. Very, look at the colors on this one, just like awful 90s colors, but the art's good. Just wish they wouldn't have the colors here. They end up in a bar and Howard the Duck's like got his thing and they're meeting this lady and you know, hijinks ensue and all that. Meanwhile, back at the university, like, M's trying to, like, I guess, fit in a little, and she's kind of got everybody upset. And they drop that she's autistic. Then Artie and Leech have a Halloween adventure over the course of this, and there's a bad guy there, but, you know, they can go out in public finally because it's Halloween. It's kind of a fun thing. Just super fun. And then Calm Before the Storm is like a big in the thought process of all this, and we get a Thanksgiving issue after the Halloween issue. Mitch Bird guest penciler, who's okay. You know, he's not as good as Kahlo. I mean, this is kind of a weird page. Really slow during this. Like it's like they're pausing things, and then we get another annual issue. These two annual issues are pretty fun. You see them, they're like caught in traffic in this one. And you get these like backstories of these like office workers and over the course of things and like how Generation X just fighting in the middle of the street with some bad guys who, you know, want to take down the mutants and all that are impacted by it. So this is actually pretty fun little annual issue. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Then you get your Hulk 97, which I already talked about at the beginning of this. So overall, like, I mean, the strongest point was, like, probably where that Emplate was. Then it got mired down in crossovers, as X books often do. And it felt like Lobdell was kind of pausing, like he wasn't sure what he was supposed to do on a couple of those issues. And, yeah, they were developing personally quite a bit with Gen X, but, yeah, it slowed down. Still fun. Opening of this was great. Middle of it was great. And then it kind of just fizzled out a little towards the end. I hear that after this, it really goes downhill, so I guess we'll find out in the next volume. But overall, enjoyable. 7.5 out of 10. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.